Hello! For today's project, we're gonna need a ton of bronze, so I'm making bronze. Last episode, we did a ton of quests, and one very observant viewer said that I haven't claimed them, and he's right. So I guess let us claim everything. Ooh, more bronze. I need bronze. I don't really have that many uses for biogas. Do I? Then again, maybe I do. Also, it's like 2 stacks of cells, so why the hell not? Also, I had to redo most of the quests in MV so that Ender.io counts, so we have more quests. And we are pooping out coins. Celery soup. I haven't eaten that yet. We take tantalum. We also take tantalum. I found a vein in the overworld, but still, it's free. We have claimed everything. We got some mica-based pulp. So let us see what we're going to get. Block of nickel. Yeah, I really prefer a harvester. From the LV ones, we did manage to get a bunch of garbage. Oh, a fan. That's useful. Oh my goodness, so many stupid seeds. We just wait for everything to despawn. These are supposed to be MV. Okay, vanadium steel is not that bad. Ooh, good circuit. Bee house? Pierce. Ooh. Is it nice? It does 3 hearts of damage. Our own does 7 hearts of damage, so yeah, that's pretty garbage. Also, I don't really think we are going to need the bee house because, well, we steal apiaries from villages. And sadly, no sword of the cosmos. One thing that I wanted to mention is that my sword is not made out of manually, even though it's purple. But what it has is beheading, because very soon we're going to need nether stars. And therefore, we're going to need skulls. Well, my pants are breaking. Why the hell not? So what is the plan for today? Today, we're going to generate some fuel. Essentially, something to burn so that we can process stuff. Because I think it's a very stupid idea to power your power generation setup using the power that it's going to produce. What if it turns off? Long story short, we're gonna make benzene. How do you make benzene? I will show you. And FYI, this is why we needed a ton of bronze. And I do really mean a ton. Making a pyrolyse oven is not very grindy. Making 3 of them at the same time was painful. Cause each one of them requires 60 blocks, each block is going to require 6 bronze, 4 steel and 2 iron plates. I'll give you a discount on the other items that I made. Anyways, I forgot that in this mod pack, we have botanium. Oh wait a minute, you're not enough? Oh, I keep forgetting you're a stupid diluted mana pool. How do you make an endoflame? That's it? Yes. I just want enough in order to make 2 pasture seeds. Yes, we got 1, so it should be almost half full. Also, this is something that I have always wondered, that why do people keep right-clicking on a mana spreader or on a mana pool? Do you know why? Because Botania gives you an update whenever you're requesting an update. If I don't do it, it's not gonna update. Even though it's empty. So can I get a second one? Thank you. So we're going to have 2 horns of the wild, and 1 of them for snow. Do you need mana? No. I just wanted to get rid of the grass. That's it. Previously, this used to be a pain. So for setting up our pyrolyse oven, location is very important. We want it to be on this side of the river, and eventually we want to have a tree farm next to it, so it has to be a river biome. I think there has been some alterations to how terrain would generate in this mod pack, and there are bugs. That is a different biome. I honestly don't really care if it's a different biome or the color of the grass is going to be different because we are going to switch it with farmland, but sometimes you can't even plant the crop. One of the things that I always say in this mod pack is that I hate sharing walls. But this time we're going to make an exception because we want to fit all 3 of them within 1 chunk. They're kind of chunky and fat, it's like 5 by 5. So I just realized I wasted a ton of material. It's okay, we're going to have more pyrolyse ovens. Who cares? Oh, and by the way, I don't have all the coils because we have a teeny tiny bit of a problem. Do you remember this aluminosilicate wool? It takes 60 seconds for 2. So every 3 minutes you can get 1 coil. And I need 27. Technically speaking, only 26 because last time we made 2 extra ones. We're using 1 of them for the chemical reactor, so that doesn't count. But you guys get the gist. It needs a lot of time. So we assemble 1 of them at this very moment. Bottom layer has to be a 3 by 3 layer of coils. Front and center, we're going to have the controller. Yes, I know you're incomplete. In the back, we should be able to have our energy hatch. And I guess whatever I do, it's not gonna be symmetrical. Later on, we're going to upgrade it to HV, so there's going to be one more MV energy hatch. So the maintenance hatch can go here. Then we have to come up by 3 more blocks, like so. Oh, I forgot the blocks. I'm hoping as long as you have not connected it to power, if it rains, nothing's gonna go wrong. Muffler hatch, input bus, and we just cover the rest. Are we good? Yes, you just has problems. The pyrolyse oven is essentially the coke ovens that we have over there with additional recipes. And that additional recipe that I'm talking about is wood tar instead of creosote oil, which is going to be the base for benzene. So we need an output bus for charcoal and the output hatch for wood tar. As I have already mentioned, we want to use benzene for a while, so we want to have a decent production, therefore we're going to have 3 of them. So I'm assuming the other coils can come here. We don't have enough, I know. That doesn't sound right. Because you will get an output hatch here and the output bus there. Okay, it makes sense now. I have assembled our pyrolyse ovens, these 2 are complete, this one is missing the coils. And the whole front, but you know. Also, these are multi-blocks and you can't really adjust the circuit, so I think you have to put the circuit in. And we want circuit number 9. And since I'm carrying too much garbage, we put the controller and the circuit goes in. And yes, I have been killing people. I wanted more hearts. We are going to give it a very small test, so here is some wood. Actually, I have 4 stacks. We are also going to use gas turbines because that is how you would use benzene. Comparing it with biodiesel, it's actually not that bad. It actually produces more energy. But we don't want biodiesel just for burning biodiesel, we want biodiesel in order to make ceton boosted diesel. That gives you 1,000,000. I have covered the roof, so we should be fine. I have also brought a duct. And just at the start of the episode, we were given some biogas. We're going to kickstart it with that. I just want to see if everything runs fine. Yes, biogas. We should not waste all of it, because I have other turbines I have to activate. So, biogas goes in. We smack you with a mallet. Why do you take 64 seconds? You said 32 seconds. Is it because I'm just using 1 amp? The coils are garbage? No, it does says MV, 1 amp, 32 seconds. Maybe it's the wrong type of wood. I don't really know, but this is why we have 3 of them, and this is why later on we're going to upgrade them to HV, and we're also going to switch the coils. Nice. Wood tar. It's gonna be wasted. And I don't really have a tree farm. Let's take out the wood. Yep. Don't burn everything. Just a bit. So we have our wood tar. Now we need to have some MV distilleries in order to convert it into benzene. That's easy. Like 2 steps. However, you might notice that as a byproduct, we're also getting charcoal, and if we put it inside a fluid extractor, it's gonna give us more wood tar, which we can burn. I mean, convert to benzene. So let me get a few items and I'll be right back. I mean, by those items, I already have the gas turbines, I already have the distilleries, so we're good. So by items, I just meant pipes and drawers. I guess we use potin pipes, they're cheap, and I have a lot of potin. I have set up all 3 of them, we have the distilleries, but we are getting benzene at a very garbage rate. But so far it's maintaining itself and we're gaining benzene. Not in that one. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Bonsais are not the best, so we can't have a tree farm at this very moment, so what we need to do is that we need to go to the Twilight Forest and chop down some wood. That's another. Also, another problem that I have is that I'm running out of trees to chop down. I'm not going to lie to you, it has been a while, and I thought this setup is really garbage. Cause it's barely making any benzene to sustain itself, and well, that's not what we want. We want to use benzene in our base. First off, it was supposed to be every 32 seconds, but now it's every 64 seconds. I don't really know why, it's 1 amp, it's MV. Secondly, the amount of benzene that you get is really not that much. Then I had an epiphany. I think that's what it's called. Or maybe a revelation. That's more evil. The wood tar that you get from a pyrolyse oven is nothing compared to the wood tar that you get from an extractor. This gives you 1.5 buckets every minute, plus 20 charcoal. In that 1 minute, 1 LV extractor can give you 4 buckets. And charcoal is not the problem, you will get tons of charcoal. But yeah, every time that this guy is processing something, we're getting 100 millibuckets of wood tar. So the charcoal is important, not the wood tar. Also, did you have any idea how lazy people are going to break down their scaffolding? You just replace it with torches. I did not change the field of view, we have speed. Yeah, actually charcoal is not the problem, I just emptied them. Huh, this can be saved. Oh, and by the way, we don't have any wood production, I'm just chopping down trees, put them inside chests. I do have to work on the crops, but for the moment, I'm really bored with crops. As you might notice from the top left hand corner of the screen, it has been a while later. A very while later. And no, this guy cannot be saved. As with many other designs that I see online for early game power, these guys are unimaginative and very inefficient. Do you know why I call them inefficient? Most of these things are designed to work on a server because you go to sleep, you wake up, you end up with 2 million buckets of benzene and all of your ores have been processed. If I go to sleep, nothing happens. Another reason for inefficiency is that you always use around 40 to 45% of the fuel that you're producing in order to make that fuel. Because you know, these stupid guys need fuel. Oh, and by the way, yes, I have updated to the new version. There are a few issues, we will see. Anyways, the system with the pyrolyse ovens that we have is never ever gonna work, but I have an alternative. I'm not really sure if we can pull it off today, but we're going to start. And how do we start? We start with a tree farm from Forestry. We're not gonna have oak bonsais, just a huge farm. If you look at the questbook, you might notice that I have already completed the thermionic fabricator. We got 16 apatite as a reward, and therefore I did manage to make 8 of the apatite electron tubes. Since we are going to go with the max sized farm, I think we are going to need around 25 of them, because I need more or less 100 blocks. Needless to say, I have also been mining and we got tons more apatite. I have processed 1 stack, and I swear there was more. Yes. We can make crystal from the dust, don't you worry. Yeah, I guess we're going to process some of the dust too. By the way, have you seen what they did with silicon? Now it's so fun. I have figured it out, it's just that we can't focus on it today. The electron tubes that I have to make for the farm are not the most expensive thing to make, they're just a bit annoying. And I just need a teeny tiny bit more stuff. Anywho, let me do some grind and I'll be right back. Oh, we have 32. Oh, each one gives you 2. Okay. If you guys remember, we used to have a carpenter over here, which I just voided everything. It was full of seed oil and that's not what we want. Now we want it to be filled in with creosote oil. Yes, remember, as with any other forestry machine, you have to place down ghost blocks inside. And then your material. And remember to put your pattern correctly. It's something like this, right? Yes. Everything goes in and you should start crafting. Each recipe gives us 4 and we need 100 blocks or so. So wait a minute, I'm missing 1 electron tube. I have tin, I have lapis, I have no gold. Hey, do you know why? Because I have the gold on me. Good, now we have it. In order to make the multi-block farm, we're going to need a bunch of material, including gears. Since we have an extruder, let us get a few shapes. Small gear and big gear. Oh, this is so much nicer. Really nicer. As I have already mentioned, this is a multi-block and we need to have different parts. I think I have everything on me, so let us see. First thing that we're going to make is apparently the hatch. I say I think because you need like a million different things. Yes, this seems to be the hatch, which is basically the input and output of the farm, but we only need 1, it gives you 2 for some reason. Then we're going to make the farm valve, which is going to be the input for water. Next item is going to be the gearbox, which if I'm not mistaken, it's where we have to input the power. And yeah, as usual, we're missing 1 motor. Anywho, some farm controllers. I don't know what it does, apparently it just controls the other stuff. These farms are great and apparently it also supports the IC2 crops, but for the moment we just want a simple tree farm. I think for IC2 you need uranium-238, which is easy to get. The question is, where do we want to set it up? Farms have to go. I think we're going to set it up over here, and as I have already mentioned, this is a multi-block and the maximum size is a 5x5 by 4 tall. There is a smaller version too, but it's not very symmetrical. Yep, 5x5 and 4 tall. I'm not really sure how we want to do this, but I think we should be able to put the hatch over there. Farm control itself doesn't really matter. The valve over here so that we can provide it with water, and the gearbox. Yes, it has formed. But actually, since this is GregTech and conduits are expensive, we put you over here. Because this is power, this is fluid input, and this one is item input. And just out of curiosity, can we have 2 hatches? Ah, nice. So on this block on the top or this block on the bottom, we should put stone bricks. The dirt is going to form on top of here. Also, there are so many things that we have to figure out. For example, I have no idea how we should power it. I do know I should sleep. I got a few bits and pieces and let us see if this guy actually works. So obviously we are going to need a reservoir to provide it with water, a pipe, and we just right click so that you would output. The farm should get water, good. Saplings go in, dirt goes in, oh, and you need fertilizer. We don't really have that much fertilizer, but 1 stack should be good enough to start with. Power has to be provided through the gearbox. I did bring a battery buffer, and it is working. on the wrong level. Okay, could you just stop for 1 second? The reason that it planted the saplings on top of sandstone is that, well, you can also make the farm out of sandstone, so this is a valid block. I removed it and now we're fine. It also ate my reservoir, but it harvested it. So I just had to take it out. I think this farm can have a radius of 15 blocks. We're not going to use all of that. We just made it maximum size just in case. But these are going to be crazy. And it doesn't consume that much power. Yeah, it didn't drain that much. So maybe 1 or 2 steam turbines are going to be more than enough. Because I have water. But very good. The concept works. Now it just needs tweaking. This stupid thing is so great. I'm so happy. First off, we're getting a bunch of goodies. Wood, apples, and saplings. Sometimes the dirt that it's placing is also going to be converted into sand, so we have to think of that as well. But the amount of power that it's consuming is so mediocre that I think we should be able to even power it with solar panels. This is a Thaumcraft recipe and I have already researched it. It makes 10 RF per tick during the day. You put 4 of them, this should be more than fine. Oh, and by the way, this is like super cheap. Not super cheap, but you get the idea. Also, the pyrolyse ovens are going to go away, we are going to have a substitute for it. It's just there so that I can get a teeny tiny bit of benzene, until next episode. As I have already mentioned, the concept works, now it needs tweaking. We need to dismantle the farm. Because I need to have an access hatch so that I can go inside. And you know the rule on this channel, we always hide the cables. And then we make garbage buildings. But don't you worry, one day I'm going to learn how to build. The hatches are very important for us because we need to extract the outputs of the farm and we also need to insert fertilizer as well as dirt. So we put them in the front. Water on the other hand is not very important and we don't really have to see it, so we can put the valve over here. Why do you have water? Which I think we don't really even need to have a pipe. Another thing that I wanted to know is that can we put the gearbox on the top? Because if I want to use solar panels, well, I can't put them underground. The controller is the least important block for us, so you go over there. Did you form? Ah yes, I'm missing a block. Now you're fine. Okay, so for the moment we put the battery box here, and you know, cover it a bit. Oh, this is a desert, it doesn't rain. I don't know, we cover it. We shall also mark the maximum 15 blocks, and I guess we just test it one more time to see if everything works. Why did you keep the saplings and the apple? I really don't know. Yes, it's planting the crops. And I think in order for it to plant further, we need to connect the dots, something like this. Yeah, I was correct. It's planting a new ring. So as usual, I have brought a bunch of stuff. Let us see how we want to set it up. We are going to have 4 outputs, correct? One of them is going to be saplings whenever this guy is full. The other one is going to be wood, apples, and sand. Because the dirt is going to eventually convert into sand. Since the farm is going to be massive, we're going to use large brass item pipes, and I even made an HV conveyor module. 1 stack every second. We also need to have 2 inputs, so I have a 2x1 drawer. One of them is going to be fertilizer, but I have to make more. The other one is going to be dirt. And this one does not really have to be that fast, so we're going to use an LV conveyor module. That's basically the automation of the farm itself. Now we need to expand it. And also think of the solar panels. I'm still not sure if they're good or not. Here's my chisel. But anyways, I really want to try the solar panels. The end result of the farm should be in the shape of a star, which I don't really know how to make the star. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to add rings until it stops placing dirt. Yeah, very soon we're going to have a fertilizer issue. We have a bit here, but I should definitely start making more. But I mean, so far so good. We have 2 stacks of wood. And I literally just set it up, the rest of the wood is here. I have been editing the footage and it seems that we don't really have that much time, so I should start making the solar panels. It's not a very complicated recipe, all we need is some ULV machine hulls, which is this. And I find an alternative recipe for wood planks inside the assembler. It takes 2 minutes, but it gives you a stack. And the other important thing that it seems we're missing is the carbon fiber, the carbon plate. Oh, polyethylene and carbon and forming press. Okay. Not forming press, autoclave. Yeah, this is super easy to make. The only issue that I have is that, yeah, this is how you would get wrought iron in an arc furnace. I want to start with 2 solar panels, so we need 16 of the basic solar panels. We already made reinforced glass. Did we make this already? Probably. I just wanted to give you a very small update that I'm still processing stuff, but I have a feeling that we're not doing that bad. We need 16 of you. The ULV machine hull, obviously. But then we need to make this solar panel. I think it's a cover, but it's not very useful. So what are we missing? Oh my goodness, the wafers, yes. Well, I can make 10. Don't really know why. Is it the glass? No. Oh, it's the aluminium iron plate. Okay. But now we're out of the glass, so we have to make more. That glass is one of the easiest things to make. We just need glass and we need some advanced alloy. Oh, I forgot, this is fun and slow. With the changes that they have done to silicon as well as aluminium, I don't think this was a very good idea, but I really wanted to try solar panels. And no, I have been checking. For the moment, we cannot make it compressed. But if we do, it's actually going to be nice. Oh, instability 15. It's not even very dangerous. You know, one day we should really stop progressing and start building. And obviously the reason that we're here are the mushrooms. So 2 of these reinforced aluminium iron plates, the wand, and 1 compressed solar panel. We need to fill it in again. It's actually a really good thing I made a lot of these mushrooms. We should also get some nodes, because nodes are faster. But here is the second one, and let us go and set it up. We take you, and this time I'm gonna take the door. It's faster. A bit dangerous, but faster. Actually, that stupid creeper did a ton of damage. Not a ton, but decent. Hello. Everybody hits me with lightning. If we put the solar panel over here, it's not covered, good. And we put one of these redstone alloy cables, will you work? The question is, how would I know? Let's add both of them and see how we do. I'm not sure how they work. Is it like this? Well, it's generating power. Power is not being stored. So that can only mean one thing. It's going in somewhere. Oh, yeah, we found it. It's charging up. That's a decent option, I guess. I like it. We also have 22 stacks of wood. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.